Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Thursday, May 7th. Tonight I am joined by the usual cast, Gamer at TCF Gameboy and Boomy at Boomy TCF. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLiliaTCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us at Typical Chicago Fans. Go to the YouTube page. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We got a lot of content coming out. We got a lot of content on there. We got the morning show, the podcast, the Last Dance review show. So that's all on there. If you want to listen to those on the podcast form, go to Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast from. If it's Apple, subscribe, rate, review. If it's Spotify, follow on there. And if it's anywhere else, do what you got to do. Shout out to our sponsor, Lodi Tap House. They have a place in Maple Park and Utica. Gamer, you have been to the one in Utica, right?
Utica.
Utica.
Yep, correct.
And we got they had the Utica Small Business Drive-Through this last weekend. They are also having it this coming weekend, so make sure you check that out again. It's at the Strip Mall, a little area there in Utica. We'll give more information for that on the podcast, but make sure you check that out on Facebook too. They have an event page for the Utica Small Business Drive-Through. They're doing a little Mother's Day special also with it, so go check that out. Also, they said Lodi Tap House on Facebook and on Instagram. Make sure you check them out. They got curbside pickup, still doing that. We got their smash burger to go when we went to the Utica Small Business Drive-Through. Boom, you got.
And you've got to check them out here this week because they just released their burger of the month for the one in Utica, and I could not be more excited about this. It is an elote burger. It's called the full elote, and it's got the tagine seasoned smash burger topped with menonita cheese, melted cheese, elote corn and salad, cojita cheese. It's like the street corn that you see sometimes with all the stuff on it. So I will definitely be picking one of those, if not more, up this month because I love elotes and I love Lodi Tap House burgers. And if you're going to the one in Maple Park, make sure you get a growler or a crowler full of beer with your delicious
make sure
burger.
you do that. Shout out to Lodi Tap House in Maple Park and Utica. Like I said, follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Also, shout out to The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddyotter.com if you want to get a beautiful mug just like this one with a TCF logo on it. Go to themuddyotter.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to Mitch and Hannah Prentice. They're making the move. They got their new studios, set up the labs, as I call them. They do pottery and woodworking, so go over to themuddyotter.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Our first subject, it's been the same for the last, month and a half, boys. Our coronavirus worry level. Yeah, it's been longer than I thought. Like it just keeps going and going and going. Mine's getting raised. Just because I'm getting nervous that maybe we may be going, I don't know. It just seems like we may be trying to go back, but we're also trying to extend it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here in the next, weeks or so. And if it's going to happen, if we go back to normal life, if we have to go back into the whole quarantine life, how weird of a switch that'll be. So I'm sitting at about a 75 right now, boys. I'm at 75. Ooh. I'm sitting at right. It's getting to be just, you don't know. You don't know what's the next move. You don't know if it's going to get worse or better. It's just, it's a state of unknown right now.
I feel you, Zach, and I understand what you're saying. I was at a 70 last week, and I was thinking about dropping down to the high 40s. I'm starting to, maybe I was just feeling better about it. And then literally a couple hours ago, I walked into a gas station a couple towns away, and there was maybe 20 people in there, and me and two other people were the only ones that had face masks.
I understand,
on.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal. No one wants to wear a face mask. No one wants to do all this stuff. But if you it's just kind of being courteous in a way. It's a state law, I guess. And then if you don't, I guess you don't have to. I don't know. It's
not a law. It's just it's a preferred practice essentially. But like it just, and even like the person working there had a mask on, but it was like not covering his upper lip and his nose, and I'm just like, what are we doing?
Right. People don't know how to
I'm
wear
gonna
them.
go with like a 53.
Yeah, that's like I
53?
said. People are at their
Interesting.
own different levels. I said everyone's got their own view on it right now. I said that's also a part of why it went up. It's just like, yeah, you go out and you just see all the people that really are kind of being like, I don't really care about it. A lot of people are adhering to the mask and wearing it and everything, but some other people, there's a lot of other people that are just like, I don't. A lot of people are taking it as a stance too, like, oh, here I can. There's a lot of people that just like to make stances. I think that just like to be on the other side of things, and this is like a perfect time for those people.
Yeah, there are too many people that just want to
Yeah.
protest just to protest right now because they don't like the fact that their states aren't reopened yet. They gotta wear masks, all that stuff, which I understand. Like, it's frustrating, but if everybody in the United States would do this together, like we could really knock this out in a matter of a month or two, get everything under control. But because different states are like at different plans right now, just not going to happen. You guys were kind of going opposite directions there. Zach, you were up a little higher. Boomy, you were a little lower there. I'm probably smack dab right in the middle between you guys. Say about a 60, where it's like I've gone down from last week, but not enough to feel like comfortable. I feel like I'm starting to just kind of ease into, like, I think you talked about it like last week or 2 weeks ago. We're kind of easing into this lifestyle now, and I'm kind of just getting used to it. And I don't know if that's just kind of numbing me to some of this stuff, but I'm not quite as worried. But at the same time, the fact that all 50 states have different plans right now to get reopened kind of worries me because we're all doing
Yeah,
different
everyone's got
directions
like a
here.
lot of places. I think 30 states have already reopened back up. There's a weird close
Right.
until at least the end of May. New York is going to be a crazy timeline. Like everyone's on their own timelines, and that's what kind of worries you. Is like it just doesn't seem like we're all on the same page here. I know we're all at different levels of it, but it just doesn't seem like we're all because. Yes, I understand. Like you said, big cities are where it's more affected, and we're closer to a big city and stuff like that. But I don't know, and it's one of those things you also get into it where you can only hear and listen to so much stuff. Like watch and
Yeah.
listen to so much
Yeah.
stuff that like you almost go crazy. It's like
Exactly.
you overdose on
Yeah.
coronavirus news.
Yeah, I feel like half the time I see it now, like on my Twitter feed or on TV or whatever, I just scroll right by it, change the channel. Like I'm just
Yeah,
tired of
definitely.
it. Like I can't watch
Yeah,
any
I'm
more
just at
of
the
it.
point where just do what we gotta do right now, and I'm guessing. And like I said, you don't know. No one knows anything for sure on either side, but you're hoping that it speeds up the process if we just keep doing what we're doing right now. And it seems like it's. I don't know. The second you say it's getting better, the next day it's worse. So you can never say it really
Right.
as of right now until there's a string of good news. There's really it's just kind of tough to talk about it.
Definitely.
I
So
agree.
let's move on to it. The Bears have declined. They declined Trubisky's option. I understand why they did it.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
so sad.
They were going to have to pay
Poor
him
Mitch Trubisky.
$24 million if the fifth year option was picked up next year. You know what? If he's worth that, I will give him a new contract. You can get whatever. If he's worth that contract next year, he will get a new contract and be paid like he wants to be. But that's because this is a proving year. They didn't sign Nick. They didn't trade for Nick Foles for Mitch Trubisky to be. I just don't feel like he's going to be the starter this year. I feel like it's going to start out as Nick Foles. I don't think you bring him in here if that's not your thought. And if for some reason Mitch Trubisky comes in here and competes and wins the job, then I'm fine with it. That's fine by me. But I think at this point, it's like Nick Foles' job to win. And why would they give him the fifth year option at this point?
I think Big Cat made a hilarious point on the Part of My Take podcast when he's like, I just have a bad feeling about this that like Mitch is gonna have a great year
Yeah.
and then he's gonna have a grudge and then the Bears will pay him a ton and then he's gonna go back to sucking. Like that does have to sit somewhere in the back of your mind. But I think this is for right now where they sit. This is the right move. And like you said, if he proves it and you got to overpay a little bit and then he maybe, can prove that he's a top 15, top 10 quarterback, then even better, But like Right now,
Yeah,
it's the move you have to make.
you can't accept that option. You can't have him sitting there knowing that he is going to at least make $24 million next year. Like that's not the incentive that you want right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You don't want that
No.
looming over your head.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's just no reason to pick up that option right now. He's done nothing to show that he can be the guy in the future. And let's say he does have a great year next year, fine. You can pay him some money and sign him to an extension. Like that's fine. But there's no reason to bring in Nick Foles here and then, like
Yeah.
Zach said, and then not play him. That makes no sense. Because Nick Foles he's won a Super Bowl. He's a guy who he's not gonna like just change the franchise. Obviously, he's not there. He's too old to do that stuff. But he's a guy who can at least bring some normalcy for 2 years while the Bears still have a good defense, and then maybe you can, I don't know, run the table
And
a little bit in the
I've been
playoffs and get to a Super
I've
Bowl.
been
But
looking more into
Mr.
it
Trubisky's
last
not
year.
that guy.
Yes, he didn't come back from the collarbone injury and play the greatest, but they took him out because they didn't want him to get hurt anymore or whatever. They didn't pull him just because they thought Gardner Minshew was. I don't think they thought he was like better than him in a way. I still think Nick Foles would be their starting quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I'm not going to sit. The whole thing was, oh, look at last year where he got hurt. He broke his collarbone, tried to come back. It didn't work out. They weren't in it anyways, so they just kind of sat him. So I'm looking forward to a fresh start for Nick Foles. And you said there's.
And I'm sure you guys saw it, but there was like a stat out there that like different categories where Mitch ranked, and there was like some categories where he ranked like 33rd and 34th out of all quarterbacks. There's only 32 NFL teams, so the fact that they had the wherewithal to go and try to find an out, if he's going to continue to put up those kinds of stats, I mean, obviously you're talking about, back end of all starting quarterbacks, way back end, to bring in some competition. And like you said, if you light a fire under him, great. If not, then then you have a quarterback this year, and then you start searching, in the draft process next
hopefully
year.
we have football just to be able to figure this all out. That's all I'm worried about at this point.
And I mean, the Bears are the only team in the NFC North right now with the quarterback controversy, right? Packers.
We have
Aaron Rodgers.
We have
There is a controversy there. They don't
Not
just
at
draft a
all.
quarterback right now. Okay, I'm not saying for this year, but clearly
Well,
they're looking for the guy of the future,
Yeah,
and they're thinking
well-
Aaron Rodgers ain't it.
No, that's what you do when you have a 36-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, but
I think he's
probably
pissed
pissed off, right? He wants some help, and they're going to draft a quarterback.
No.
I
Like,
think you're very wrong.
so you think Brett Favre is just lying to everybody,
No.
saying that
Yes.
Rodgers
Now
is
everybody-
lying?
now
I've said
believes
this
everything
over
Brett Favre
and
said.
over and over. I'm not
Don't
saying
you?
it wasn't the right pick, but he is mad about it. Like, you can't sit here and say that's
I just
not
don't
like
think so.
he even made it clear when he heard the pick when he was on the show. He would want somebody. I'm not saying that they didn't make the right pick for the organization going forward, but for Aaron Rodgers in the moment, he would have liked to see someone that would help him right now.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. The Bears had Aaron Rodgers, which we're not lucky enough to have a guy like that. But if we had Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure I'd want the Bears to draft
Yeah.
anybody who
And
could
like I
help
said,
them
maybe
win
he'll be a great
in the
quarterback,
now,
but
not
in the
in 3
moment,
years.
he's not going to like it. Let's move on. We
So,
got a
he's
little
got it,
baseball update. We had Korean. What are you laughing about, Boomy?
A guy
No,
can't
I
laugh.
see
What the
you
hell
smirk
is
like an
this?
idiot over there. We got South. We got South.
I'm the
What?
idiot? We're okay.
Yeah, we got South
nothing.
Korean
Go ahead.
baseball. We've talked about it here on the show, not this show, but our podcast that we do, the Typical Chicago Fan podcast. We had a friend of my sister and brother-in-law that lives in South Korea, so he was kind of talking about the South Korean baseball, and we kind of got to see it. It was Monday night when they had it. It was a midnight here, and it was exciting. I mean, I didn't stay up and watch it, but it's kind of got a minor league feel to it. There's some stuff going on in the stands, and it seems like a good time. As they said, there's no fans, but they still have like entertainment in a way, and it's something that we get to watch. And I think ESPN kind of came to somewhat of I think there's like a deal where they're gonna do like the playoffs and certain games for the South Korean baseball league, but it's something we can watch.
That's the thing, man. It's live sports, and in baseball, Major League Baseball it will be proposing a plan by the end of the week to possibly start spring training in mid-June with a season that possibly begins in like July 1st is what they're aiming at. But I think, like you said, with the Korean baseball, there are still some guys over there that I know I've heard names that, yeah, yeah, and even guys that have been like had different times in the majors, or even if you think about a guy like Eric Thames who went over there a couple of years ago and obviously is still a big name in Major League Baseball. It's cool to kind of see those American guys, but obviously, like you said, just to see live sports is really all we need right now. So I've DVR'd a few games because I'm obviously not going to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch. But it is, like you said, it's an escape, and it's a little bit return to normalcy for now.
Yeah, it's great to have the highlights, especially when those guys had the best bat flips in all of baseball. Like, if you put those guys in the MLB and they did those bat flips, like, those would be tweeted about like every 10 seconds. Like, those things are awesome. And I think, like you said, I mean, just a little bit of normalcy, having some baseball, just to have, even if you just watch the highlights of it, just something to kind of keep an eye on. Yeah, there's some names you might recognize and some guys who might come later on in the MLB. But for now, it's just great to have
hopefully
something.
We can get to that point.
Right. That was a good comparison, though, Zach. Like comparing it to like an upper class minor league is, I think, a pretty good comparison. Definitely.
And I think this opens up the door too for the future. Let's say maybe the NBA next year doesn't start on time. Let's just say something like catastrophic happens where something this happens again. Maybe somewhere like in Greece or somewhere else in Europe, like, you have a league that's still going. Maybe ESPN can continue to make these deals and show like, hey, we can get more viewers for you guys, like, and it gives you something. So it might open up a door too for more of a worldwide thing on ESPN.
Major League Baseball, we kind of heard that they were maybe going to be back sometime in May or like end of May with like a spring training 2 and kind of be back within June or July for games. That kind of got said that that's a rumor and that there's a plan coming out hopefully in the next week and a half or so that will be a real plan for Major League Baseball. We have the NFL schedule coming out tonight, so that's big for some live sports action in a way. But Major League Baseball is still really up in the air to when spring training will come back. Because like I said, those guys are going to need time to get back into form and then get back to the regular season and how that's all going to work. So like it all seems like a good idea until you have to figure out like all the factors that go into it. All the guys that are going to have to leave their families and maybe be isolated. Like, I don't know. It's just going to be crazy how it all works out at first.
Yeah, I think the players' union is going to have a big role in this and figuring out how they're willing to do how they're actually going to make this happen. Yeah,
there was a piece done today that had gave a suggestion that they should allow players to opt out for the year if they so choose. So we'll see if something like that is to come into play.
It's going to be weird. It'll be weird to see how it works. Who will be the first of the four major sports to have a live game? We're thinking it's probably going to be baseball, but we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. It's all just an idea, a thought, just something that we all want to happen until we actually get news, because we've heard so many different forms of baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Like, we've heard so many different ideas that have been thrown out, but nothing has actually stuck to the wall.
It's all speculation for now.
Helping us out. It keeps us going here over at TCF. We need more and more of that because we just need news. That's all we need. Is Mike Tyson back, boys? I understand anyone can do that, but whenever you see Mike Tyson doing I don't know, what's the body bag or whatever, like, what do they call it when the guy has the body suit on and you're kind of punching him? I don't know if that's just.
It's just not sparring, but it's just
he may be coming back and doing a charity event. Do you guys think that he'll actually make a return to the ring?
I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but like, he's lost like 40 pounds since September and looking just yoked right now.
Still be very scared of taking. Could you guys?
And obviously,
I've heard this on PMT before. What did you guys take to take a punch from Mike Tyson? How much money? Might
How
have to
much money?
be.
Oh
I don't
man.
know if I can make it. Like I
Well,
would. Oh
Quarter
I
mil.
yeah.
mean, I might die, so I don't know if it's worth it. That dude, like watching the videos, like he
No,
looks
and
like he never left the ring.
Yeah.
Like
like
that dude is
imagine him
just
hitting you in the
a
stomach
monster
and then
still.
coming
He's the
up and giving you
scariest
that like
man.
right hook and you're just. Woo.
Oh God.
He's 53, and I still
Oh
think he'd
yeah.
whoop a lot of dudes right now.
Yeah, I think he wants to
Yeah,
get back in the
oh,
ring for real.
yeah. Now I don't know like how his ability to like take punches, like obviously we didn't see him get hit in the face or anything, and that could change as he gets older. But like obviously the quickness is still there. But I think he could still go
Yeah,
pound
maybe
for pound
guys
with
his
some guys
age.
right
Like,
now.
I kind of heard a little bit. He still did struggle a little bit at the end of the end of his boxing career. So it's still like you said on video it looks like he's got quick hands, but then you kind of realize that there's younger guys maybe have steps that are different. But like I said,
Yeah.
maybe people at his level or just a little bit lower, like age wise, maybe he still could and maybe make some fun pay-per-views out of it, make some like I said some charity out of it. That'd be cool to see him back in the ring because I never got to see him in his prime, so it'd be kind of cool to see what he got still.
Mhm.
He said, like you said, if those videos,
Yeah, if he
those
fights,
videos
I'm
are
buying.
very scary videos. Like you said, what would you even have to take to like be the guy in the bodysuit that's taking those punches? Like I would be crying, even if
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
scared the whole time,
said,
putting your
I
hands.
would
as
give him
much
out of
as
money.
there's not that much padding there. Like it's still, I wonder how
No.
fast that punch is. Like how fast a
That's
punch
still
like that
gonna
is.
hurt.
Oh, when you like
Like
sports
if you went and
science.
played one of those, if you played one of those games,
Oh,
you
he'd
played one
break
of those
it.
games. You have to punch the punching bag. See how
What
hard
was
you hit
that?
it. He probably break the
Sports
machine.
science with
Yes, he would.
with John Brinkus. He would. I want him to
Yeah.
test the speed of Mike Tyson's punch. That's what we need. They must not do that anymore because you don't see that shit on TV anymore.
Yeah. I think they got rid of that.
Yeah,
I think they ran out of shit
and they
to
realize
do.
like
Yeah.
some of that shit's just bullshit. Like you think like you gotta be kidding me. Like some of the tests they did, it's like no way.
Right.
This
It's too
made
much
me
reaching.
so happy. We got The Last Dance right now. We got 2 more Sundays left of it, and then I think ESPN's gonna start showing 30 for 30s every Sunday. And on June 14th, they are doing the Sosa McGuire 30 for 30. I think it's Legend. Is it Legends Gone? Something Gone Summer is what they had named it. Long Gone Summer.
Long Gone Summer.
Yeah, long guns.
That's gonna be awesome. I don't know if how they're gonna do it. Are they gonna? I hope they focus more on the home run race and not the whole steroids or whatever. Because I really want to know what the world was thinking at that moment. And I think maybe hopefully some Cubs executives watch this. I understand. Yes, there's gonna be some stuff on the steroids. We all know. Yes, they took steroids, but how it boosted the organization and the fan base. Yeah.
I mean, it saved baseball. Like
I'm
baseball was
excited.
dying.
That's a good point, Gamer, because I'm excited to see like what the national narrative on him was. Because like I was only like 7 years old that summer, so I would love and I can't wait to see like what the national reporters and national media had to say about it at the time, because we obviously have a very regionalized coverage of it. But like, what did that do for baseball outside of
Like I said, that's
Illinois
one
and
of the cool
Missouri?
things about watching The Last
Yeah.
Dance in a way. Like, just kind of cool just to see. Yeah, we weren't as well. When was that? 2000 and what year was that when that was going on? 2000 when the Sosa McGuire. 98. So yeah, it was around
it was
the same
98.
time.
90.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to see because that's kind of cool. 2 of our favorite teams are kind of having some big documentaries.
It was 98 or 99.
98.
It was
It's
98.
just be kind of cool to
Yeah.
see the outsider's
98.
view of everything.
Definitely.
I agree.
I
And I
hope they
think
have
too.
like a lot of the not. I know they're not going to have as detailed as stuff as like The Last Dance, but like some of the interactions between the guys and like some stuff mic'd up from maybe some Cubs teammates or Cardinals teammates, stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for Cubs fans all around, like all of our first memories of baseball was Sammy Sosa.
Yeah,
Like you played junior league, little league, whatever. Like you're wanting to be number 21 for Sammy Sosa. Like
Yep.
everybody wanted, you fought over it.
Yeah.
So I think for Cubs fans and hopefully, like you said, that like the Cubs executives, maybe front office, they can kind of look at this, and be like, all right, we got to bring this dude back. We got to get him in Wrigley Field. We got to celebrate him like he deserves because he saved baseball. He saved the Cubs organization. I mean, there was a time where people in the Cubs wanted to move. They didn't want to be at Wrigley Field anymore. They want to get out of there and go somewhere else. And Sammy Sosa helped bring Wrigley back. Like he was a big reason for that. So I think the Cubs owe Sosa a lot, and hopefully this documentary will help. The Ricketts family see that too.
Yeah, it's crazy his number's not retired. It's crazy that he doesn't have a statue outside. Yes, I understand. Yes, he's linked to steroids, but like so many people were linked to
Everybody
steroids,
was.
and like I don't know. I think that we kind of need to get over that as an organization. Yes, he did something that was wrong, but he's paid for it. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Maybe he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Who knows? I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think McGuire should be in the Hall of Fame. I think Barry Bonds should 1,000,000% be in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy he's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, like it seems like baseball loves forgetting about people who use steroids just because they did steroids. What was it? Dude, there are people that cheated back in the day that were horrible people and they're in the Hall of Fame. Like you're trying to tell me that we're going to do a morale check on people that are in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Like give me a break. Not a morale.
I agree.
Yeah, is that right?
Morality.
Yeah, morality check. Sorry.
Yeah, Ty Cobb was about the biggest piece of shit ever play in baseball, and we renown him for being one of the best baseball players of all time, and he was a pretty terrible human being.
Yeah, and it's just
and all the people.
Not even that. Look at basically all of baseball before the late 1940s. Yeah. I mean, for crying out loud.
Yeah. All they do is drink and smoke and gamble all the time, and yet we're gonna get like my biggest problem with the whole steroid thing is like there are guys who took steroids who sucked.
Yeah,
and the guys that were really good who took steroids, like they were still really good.
Yeah.
Like Sammy Sosa was still a good player before the steroids. Barry Bonds was still an all-star before the steroids. Yeah. It's like give him a break. Like they took steroids, they should have done that, but for God's sake, they were still good.
And even at that, like just like what he did for the Cubs is just forgotten about. Like Mark McGuire was a hitting coach for the Cardinals at one point, and I think Barry Bonds was a hitting coach for somebody. Like it's just crazy that Sosa's never been has returned back to Wrigley Field, and it's gonna be cool to see what he has to say about everything too. Hopefully, I'm guessing he'll be in it. Like we haven't really seen any real preview for it. We've just heard that they've pushed the date up, so it'd be cool to see the first trailer of it. Boys, right into this. What have you guys been watching?
I'll start us off. So I've been watching Catch 22 on Hulu. It was recommended to me by my dad, and it takes place during World War II. It's a bunch of guys who basically have to fly a bunch of missions, and these just a-hole generals keep upping up the missions. George Clooney's in it. He's actually a big producer and director with this. And then Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights and a bunch of other stuff too. He's in it. He's awesome. He just plays a real dick. And so these guys trying to figure out how do we get home? Like how do we survive all these missions and still survive here? It's got humor. Like obviously there's drama, like any wartime thing does. I mean, it's got it all: suspense, everything. So I definitely give it a watch. Only 6 episodes. I don't know. I think it's based on a novel, so it's a quick watch. Yeah. So I've watched 4 out of the 6 so far. I'm gonna try to finish it off tomorrow. But yeah, it's a great show. I definitely recommend that one.
What'd you say that was called, Gamer?
Catch 22.
Catch 22. Right. I finally got around and watched Parasite, the movie that won Film of the Year. And it was fantastic. Now, I will make sure I point out that it was all in Korean, so you had to read subtitles the whole time.
See ya.
No, I'm telling you, I thought the same thing, and it was one of the coolest movies I've ever watched. The cinematography was insane. I completely understand why this won Movie of the Year. The concept behind it was awesome.
It's a lot of work.
I thought it was a different direction, and I didn't really read anything on it. A lot of times I'll pull Wikipedia pages up and follow along, and I just didn't want to read anything. and it took a really crazy ass turn, and it was a great movie, and the ending was fantastic. Like I said, I don't usually recognize like things like cinematography, but like it was just shot so well, and it was just very well done. It's on Hulu now, so if you don't mind reading for 2 hours straight, it's a
Unfortunately,
really
I think I do. So I saw a big argument. It's not a big argument, but it was like this picture, and it was a basketball team, and it was Friends versus The Office. So I am going back, and I'm watching all of The Office and all of Friends because I have them both on DVD. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to make a fair assessment. I'm pretty sure I already know what's going to win in my mind. But I'm going to go back and rewatch that because it's something I can watch on, like I said, I got this little DVD player here. I'm not going to get like super into it, but I'm going to try and watch all of them and then just kind of make some content out of it and see what goes from there. But I think that's kind of a weird debate. I don't know. I don't see them being like comparable shows in a way. Like they're two different shows, but I think that's kind of a.
But if you had to, what's your pick right now?
The Office.
Yeah, but see,
yes.
That's not fair because I like both shows and you don't like both shows. So coming from.
No, I'm just thinking logistically. Like Chandler, he'd be useless because he rips sticks all the time.
I'm not talking about a real basketball game. I'm talking about like show for show. This isn't like.
Oh, I'm talking
like the
both.
picture.
I'm picking The Office.
Yeah,
but for like show for show, I would take The Office right now. But I am a fan of both shows.
I don't think Friends is a bad show.
So we'll see. We'll see at the end of this where maybe I'm swayed.
Doesn't scratch me.
What?
The Friends just doesn't scratch me where I itch. It's just not my thing.
It's not the best. It's okay. I put it.
Way of saying
Joey's funny. Other than that, I didn't find anybody that funny. Phoebe was kind of.
No one wants to think about you.
Joey and Chandler are funny. Dude. I will say there's like.
I know. It's a disgusting one for you to use because no one wants to think about that.
Don't use your imagination, and that's your fault, not mine.
Is my imagination, dude. Anything else you guys been watching? Like I said, I always throw this in Waco. I still think that's a good one. You guys got anything else that you guys have kind of said before?
Go ahead,
Gamer.
All right, I'll go. So last night, actually, I watched Snowpiercer with Chris Evans. Came out in 2013. Basically, it's like the world. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but all of the world's population is on a train that goes like around the world, like because it's in the second ice age. So they're just trying to survive, and it's like built by class.
Oh yeah.
So at the back, yeah, and they're making a new TV show about it too, coming out soon. So that's a good watch. Good in it. It makes you think a lot, which I know for both of you guys, that's a lot to ask for to make you guys think. But
I'm good on that.
But it's a good movie.
I watched the movie Biodome, and it
Shore.
might be the worst movie I've ever watched. That was horrible. That made me want to put my head on. Yes.
Have you ever seen?
And I'm all
seen Back to the Army now?
Yeah, that's
a pretty good one.
No, I'm thinking Major.
What's the other one that he did?
So what is Biodome?
Biodome's two like stoner idiots in California get locked in this like science experiment in Arizona where they're trying to create a situation where they can create life outside of the Earth, and they're just idiots and just break everything, and it's just not funny.
It's the dumbest thing.
The dumbest thing is that Chance watched the whole thing.
So I'm all for like dumb, like Will Ferrell movies and stuff like Sandler movies, but like Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin just cannot play that part. Stephen Baldwin's an asswipe anyway. He's not funny at all. And Pauly Shore is a great accessory character, not a main character.
We got Boomy, the movie critic over here. But yeah, I've seen that movie. Not a good movie. But I think Pauly Shore is he's good in like in roles that like he doesn't have to lead the movie, like kind of just weird, eccentric characters. Like I said. Well, I forget the other one that I used to watch with him. I knew it was Back to the Army now, and then there's one other one. I cannot remember. Boomy, do you have a wacky web story for us?
I sure do. Have you guys ever had like a one of your bucket list items was like to drive a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a really fast car or anything?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Everybody's kind of like, oh, if I had the opportunity, I'd love to, zip around a track in a Lamborghini or Ferrari. Well, 5-year-old, I don't think they're going to list his name because obviously he's 5. But he had the same dream in Ogden, Utah. And he decided that he was going to go to California and purchase a Lamborghini because he just really, really wanted to drive one, other than the obstacles being in the way that he's 5 years old. And he had $3 on him. But he began to take a family vehicle and started to drive. And this kid started to get a little erratic, got pulled over, and then divulged to the police why he was 5 years old and driving a car. And that's because he wanted to go to California and buy himself a $3 Lamborghini. So I understand. I feel bad for this kid. Hopefully one day he'll get a shot at that.
That's crazy,
Lambo.
but that's wild.
That's great initiative right there. Like you gotta like really respect the determination to get there, get that Lambo. That's awesome.
Right, because we've all had that that thought, like, I should go get something, and then you're just like,
This guy, he had it in his mind he was going to at least try. He at least tried.
And he got the car started, he got it rolling,
That's wild.
And he's just, unfortunately, he's 5, and he had $3.
That is absolutely wild.
But that kind of ambition is going to make him either a very smart entrepreneur or get him in some really big trouble.
I would
later
think
on
maybe in trouble.
Well,
I think in
a little
trouble.
bit of both.
Unfortunately, it'll be the probably getting in trouble. Anything post show, boys?
NHL is looking at their possibility of their draft and everything.
Virtual draft.
At least, again, it's like there's something there. I saw today. And I did see that the lottery would revert back to last year's, like the place standings and the odds of getting the top pick. So I think what I saw is the Blackhawks would have the 9th best possibility at the number 1 pick as of now.
What did they end up with? The 4th or 3rd pick last year? I think it was 3rd. They got Kirby
3rd, yeah. They got Kirby Dak, whatever. Semantics.
Anything else sports-wise? Not much else sports-wise.
Not a whole lot going on right now.
Episodes 7 and 8 on Sunday. Make sure you check out the TCF, the Last Dance TCF review show that we drop every Tuesday morning. We'll be reviewing episodes 7 and 8. Like we said, we got 2 weeks left, 2 Sundays left. That's sad.
Yeah. It is. That's a good way.
It's going way too fast. I know some people that are waiting until like this is over with. I don't know how you could do that. I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah,
especially it's like one of those things. It's got to be one of the more talked about documentaries of all time, just because that's all we got.
I mean, just go on Twitter. It's Wednesday that we're recording this,
I guess
and
if
there's
you
still
don't
people
have
talking
social
about
media,
it.
It wouldn't matter. But
yeah. Have you guys done any golfing since the courses reopened
today? I'm going at
nice,
and I just golfed yesterday.
Nice. I got to get out. I got my membership and everything. I just need to. I just keep finding random projects to do around the house, and I'm like, oh, I should have went golf today, but
5:45
I'll get there.
5 is my tee off time. We'll see if we get 9 done by sunset.
I was gonna say, that's
well,
awesome.
yeah, with work and stuff.
Now is Mendota doing it where only 2 people can go at a time, or do they have? Okay, yeah. So that's probably every golf course then.
Every 15 minutes, you have to wait 15 minutes, which is you're gonna wait that long probably anyways. Yeah. So then like you pay through the phone and stuff, so there's really no interaction with. I don't think there's really any interaction with anyone. You just kind of go to the tee box at 5:45. I'm excited. I'm excited. I got my clubs out. I was swinging around. Didn't feel great about some of the swings I had in the cornfield, but had 1 or 2 drives where you're like, dang, I wish I could keep that one for tomorrow.
Just try to break 50
we'll
tomorrow.
See. I'll update on the typical Chicago fans. I'll just update everybody because it's gonna be brutal. I think it's gonna be brutal. It's been. Yeah. We've usually had at least a few rounds in by this time of the year, and when you kind of get yourself prepared for it, and I just haven't been doing anything.
Spring break is when I usually start, and that would have been about a month ago. So
unfortunately, it's been a while, but we're back. We'll see how it goes. I don't have high expectations for it. But thank you to our sponsor, Load Eye Tap House in Utica and Maple Park. Go check them out at the Utica Small Business Drive-Through. What's that? May 9th and 10th is Saturday, Sunday? Or is it? Yeah, May
Yep.
9th and 10th. Make sure you go check them out. It's at where there's a little strip mall there in Utica where there's the little soda pop shop. And then the Two Girls and a Cupcake.
The Starbucks popcorn and
Two
the
Girls and a
cupcake.
Cupcake. Make sure you check out Two Girls and a Cupcake. Got some stuff for Mother's Day cupcakes, so make sure you check that out. Again, Load Eye Tap House in Utica and Maple Park. Make sure you are getting there. They still got a curbside pickup for you, and make sure you go check them out at the Utica Small Business Drive-Thru.
Get you a fully loaded burger, because that's what I think.
Make sure you get that. And also, if you go to the Utica Small Business Drive-Thru, they have I think Smash Burger is what we had. I think it was like $12 or something. A quick pickup. They got mustard and ketchup in there. So you make sure you go check out all the little small businesses that are over there too. And then also shout out to The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddy.otter.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to Mitch and Hannah Prentice. They're making a move right now. They're switching their studios over, but they got woodwork and pottery. So go check out themuddy.otter.com. Anything else, boys?
Stay safe, everybody. Put your mask
on. Gamer at TCF Game Boy, Boomy at Boomy TCF on Twitter. I am Zach Lilia. You can follow me at ZLilia TCF on Twitter. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Follow us on there. Go over to YouTube. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We got all of our videos on there from the podcast. We got food reviews, dessert reviews. We got the Last Dance review show on there. So go subscribe for all of the updates on the videos. And wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, Spreaker. If it's Apple, subscribe, rate, review. Spotify, follow us on there. And then if it's anywhere else, do what you got to do. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Thursday, May 7th. We love you all.
Peace.